What's going on, Corey Black Fantasy Football League team owners? I am the commissioner. This is my first announcement of the season. I hope the off season been treating you well. Outside some of the stats that we've been doing on the page in the off season, this is our first official message. I gotta start off by saying that congratulations to our league winner Pape. 5 years in the league, he finally got his first one. We were wondering when Pape was finally going to be able to get over that hump, but he finally did. 7-7 season, still won the shit. Crazy. But the team of 2 losses didn't win those. Unfortunate. I'm here to just talk about some of the changes that we are going to be making. I'm not going to go in too deep on each one of the changes that are being made, but just to go over broadly some of the changes. I will get into the changes in its own separate post in the near future, probably within these next 1 to 2 weeks, to explain why the changes are being made. So one of the first changes being made for the upcoming season is the bench settings. Right now it's at 5 bench spots, and the IR, which is at 2 bench spots. Since we are a keepers league at this point, changes are upcoming. I can't say what the final details are, but it's going to reflect some of the changes that we made for keepers. Another change that is being made is we are removing vetoing from trades. Reason why is if we're going back years, almost a decade, to Jamar's league, which was the Yeet Squad league, there has always been some issues involving trading, and that carried over into this league also. And it always revolves around vetoing trades. Someone's trade gets vetoed because someone else thinks it's not fair. We're removing that completely. I will go into this further in its own post, but just to really sum it up, everybody's their own manager. If you think it's a good trade, let it fly. What other league in real life has teams vetoing trades? Now, like I said, we'll go into this further on, but there will be protections to where we're not just letting tanking going on. We're just giving away a team. That's not going to be allowed. Now, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we got to try something new. For the past 2 seasons, we've had points on for kick and punt returns, and the first season we saw it, it was nice. You know, it was slight points that you were getting for returns. The NFL had made their change into the kick returns. The NFL also made another change with their kick returns the following season, and which is why we saw an increased points in special teamers getting a lot of points. Like, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but I think it's like Chimere Dike off the Titans. Jamar had him on his squad. Jamar Gregory had him on his squad last season, and he was getting a lot of points. So one of the changes being made is not to remove it. Like I said, I still think there are good flex options, but for the kick return points, they will be reduced. Right now it was at 0.1 per yard for a kick return, and it's going to be reduced from that going into next season. You know, we had some of these returners getting up there with top receivers in terms of points just off of kick returns, and that was never intent to have them be top receivers. It was more so to be a flex option, and with this change, it should revert back to that going into the next season. And I know some people want to start making trades during this off season. I'm just asking you guys to just hold off for a little bit longer, just because we are changing some of the keepers rules slightly, and it is to give owners more flexibility in terms of trading players. So as we know, we only can keep at max 3 players going into the next season, and that's if you want to. If you don't want to, you know, they'll go back into the draft pool. But now we're giving more flexibility to owners to where if you had that player on your team for half of the season, you can trade them, but like still, you only can keep 3 players on your rosters. Like I said, I'll go into this into more detail in its own post so that it's more understandable, but owners will have more flexibility in trading. I think the wait will be worth it, so just hold off for the trading for right now. Now, none of this stuff is guaranteed going forward, but we want there to be, you know, some type of incentive. I don't know for what, maybe for like winning a certain amount of games or a certain schedule of games. I don't know too much of the details yet, but it's being looked into. It's more so something to fight for it during the regular season, not just winning games, but like it might be a select few games you might need to win. Maybe a record-breaking performance, you know, that can get incentivized. But we'll see. And last but not least, the power ranking. I know the power rankings have been kind of iffy these past 2 seasons where we haven't been getting all. Some of them have not been in video formats. It's been a post. And I know we all love the videos, but you know, those videos take time to make, and we don't have the staffing for that. So unfortunately, the power ranking videos will not be returning. But Power Rankings is getting changed into a new format to where it's going to be a live show. Power Rankings every week, live show. So y'all make sure y'all tune in when we streaming that. We want to see y'all in the chat when the live stream is up. We gonna be live on YouTube. I got word from the messenger. So be checking out the league page within the next week. We're gonna be getting a lot of new updates coming, I'll say the next 2 weeks actually. I think there are a lot of good changes coming for the season. And I look forward to everybody being there. We are still in search of a new owner. We're down an owner because Raekwon decided he wanted to leave the league. I guess, when you're not winning enough, gotta hit the road. Actually, I did forget one thing. We will be doing draft pick selection this week. It's going to be live here on the YouTube channel. It's going to be slightly different this year on how we're doing the draft pick selection. It's very similar. Different, but very similar. So I'm looking forward to see y'all this week live. Thank y'all boys for tuning in. See y'all this season. God bless the Corey Block Fantasy Football League.